Hi everyone. Just
It's just us at the moment. There's an attendee coming in now. Yeah. Okay.
Hi everyone. Just welcome to our fourth coronavirus government support roundup and questions. I believe we've done four already. So this is just a roundup. It's obviously with me, Nikolai, and this is Steve, as you know, Steve Brown. I'm my able accountant. So what is it's Jazz Day, so happy Jazz Day. I put that on the email because I was just trying to see what day it was, because last week was St. George's Day, so Jazz Day. I like jazz. So, and then what I was going to say is that there's not been that much actually happening. The main one is basically the fact that all our furlough grants have actually been started to be paid in. So what we've got is people were started to be paid as of yesterday. Not yesterday, Tuesday. So we had most people paid as of Tuesday. And then we've had people just coming through gradually, day by day. So if you haven't received any yet, you should be receiving it soon. And we're trying to get the guys just to let you guys know that it's coming, just in case you haven't seen it. The other thing is that we've got this bounce back loan from the government. So the difference with this and the C bills is it's supposed to be a lot easier. This starts in May, so the bounce back loan. So it should be easy. So it's supposed to be a very easy form to fill in. You can borrow up to £50,000, and it's 25% of your revenue. So you need to be earning 200 grand or plus that in revenue. This is turnover, not profit, in order to get the 50,000. And then there's also a criteria that you're not going to be in distress. I mean, Steve can tell you a bit more about that. So if you've got loads of accumulated losses, you're probably best going for a C bill, because you're not going to get it. But we don't know, because they haven't been operational yet. But that's our understanding of some of that guidance on it. If you and it's also guaranteed 100% by the government, whereas the C bill, which is the one that was originally the loan, the coronavirus loan, originally out there, that is 80% guaranteed by the government. So theoretically, if it's 100% guaranteed by the government, there's less risk on the bank. So they're going to be quicker to guarantee it, to give you it and apply it. And also theoretically, on a risk perspective, because there's less risk, they should be applying a lower interest rate once the interest rates have stopped being paid by the government. And sorry, I didn't mention that. The first year interest rates are free as well, so you don't pay anything in the first year, same as the C bill, the coronavirus loan that originally was there. So those are the only things I've got that is new. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Steve. Steve's done a very good little update on our website of the bounce back one, which he did a couple of days ago when it first came out, just so that if you want a bit more detail on it, it is there. Obviously, we'll find out more in due course on Monday, because it goes live Monday. Have you got anything, Steve?
Yeah, the scheme is supposed to go live Monday. They have issued a quite reasonable amount of detail, given this is something that's just come out. As to whether there will be any sort of qualifications on that in the next few days, we shall have to wait and see. I've actually signed up for a webinar with a loan specialist tomorrow, who are going to talk about the loan. So if anything new arises from that, we will be looking at sharing that with our clients. But yes, I mean, the main thing to be aware of is if you've already taken a corona business interruption loan, you cannot have a bounce back loan as well. You can have one or the other. Now, there is talk of the possibility that if your loan would meet the criteria for both, that it may be possible to switch them from one to the other. the bounce back loan is likely to be better, but I mean, we are waiting for the fine detail on that one. But the initial information does indicate that the bounce back loan, provided you only need up to the 50,000 cap and you've got the turnover to cover it, is likely to be the cheaper option of the two. But so
we'll wait and
it's
see.
a completely new scheme. So yeah, we will wait to see what actually happens with that. And I did say in our last webinar that I was sceptical about HMRC's ability to get the payments for the furlough scheme out without 6 days. So for once, I'm quite pleased to be eating my words on that. They have actually been getting the payments out within 6 days. So it's a case of HMRC actually delivering on a promise and getting money to people, which is good.
Yeah, no, it's been amazing. I didn't expect it. When I did a cash flow forecast for a client about a month ago now for all this, I thought it was going to be June at the earliest. So, because they're not very quick normally at paying out. So it's been amazing, and hats off to them. Got a few questions here. One, I'll start off probably just with the C bills, just because of and the bounce back. But the question is, if I have a C bill loan, can I also get a bounce back loan?
As I say, the guidance initially on the bounce back loan is you cannot have both. But if you meet the criteria for the bounce back loan, it may be possible to negotiate with your bank in order to move them from one scheme to the other. Once the scheme is live on Monday, hopefully we will have more details on that. So if anyone has taken a C-bill loan out already but will qualify for a bounce back loan, we can look at what they might need to do in order to move to, say, what we think is likely to be the cheaper scheme.
Yeah. Other question is, which is the better of the C-bill and the bounce back loan? I know you've mentioned that a little bit.
It seems likely that the bounce back loan. I mean, it's a much smaller limit. The C-bill loan, you can borrow quite large amounts of money potentially if you can get your bank to agree to it. It seems likely because of the 100% backing that there will be lower interest rates on the bounce back loan, and you do have the 12 months free and interest free and repayment free indeed on the bounce back loan as per the original announcement. So that is likely to be better for businesses that just need a relatively small amount of money. To a certain extent, it's going to be what funds you need and what criteria you've got. I mean, the one thing to be aware of on the bounce back loan, which I do not believe applies to the C-bills loan, is there is also a criteria that the business must not be an undertaking in difficulty as at 31st of December 2019. Now, there is a legal definition of this that's used in other cases. It will almost certainly carry over to this, and it's essentially, was the business in trouble before the coronavirus outbreak started? So things like accumulated losses, having to have a rescue package in the past, things like that are likely to disqualify for a bounce back loan. But yeah, hopefully they will clarify exactly what an undertaking in difficulty means for the purposes of the loan application by Monday.
Thank you. So I was just looking at something now because we have a question. I'm going to get back to you, Mark, on that. I'm just looking at your zero, Mark, just to see what you have there, because we have actually got a special way of dealing with all this bookkeeping of it. So I will just get back to you on that in a minute. I'll just pose the other questions to you first. Steve, which of the loans would you recommend, a C-bill or a bounce back?
It's again, it's going to come down to individual circumstances. The bounce back loan is likely to be the cheaper of the two. So if the money you can get from the bounce back loan, bearing in mind it will be restricted to 25% of your turnover. So if your turnover is below 200,000, that may well reduce the amount that you can get below the amount that you need. Then you would have to go for the C-bill loan instead. They're both should still be better terms than an ordinary bank loan. So if you do need to get money, applying for one or the other it is likely to be worthwhile. But overall, provided the funds you can get for it would be sufficient for your purposes, the bounce back loan is likely to be the cheaper of the two based on the information we have at the moment.
Yes, I mean, that's what I would actually just put in there. It is worth talking to your bank manager just to find out which is the better. But my understanding is if you've got lower risk, you should be offering better rates, because that's normally how a bank or any like anybody actually rates an interest rate. Is the lower their risk to them, the lower the interest rate to you. So that's how I would expect it, but it doesn't mean that's going to be the case. So Mark, I'm just going into Jet here because Mark just put a question out there. Mark, you asked, should you reconcile this to account that we've created for you called a furlough grant? I'm not going to tell you the number of that account. You're correct, Mark, just because people have different numbers depending on what numbers we'll use for them. Yes, so what we've done is we've created a furlough grant CVRS account in everybody who's actually applied for furlough in your bookkeeping in Xero, and then that will be applied to that. If we are doing your bookkeeping, we'll be doing this, and we've done it already. If you've got a small business grant as well, which is normally if you've got rates, you're paying rates or anything, then we've created a different code for that as well, just so it's all there. It's all going to be taxed as income. So the whole point of this is just to help everybody for loss of income throughout all this period. So they've said you have to be taxed. So we put it to other income and that line. So it's other income, no VAT on, and that line. So yes, Mark, just bookkeep it to that, and then you will be taxed on it on your net profits at the end of the year, and you'll add to your income stream. So I hope that answers that question, Mark. I just wanted to check, Mark, what you had in your the number of your account, and it had actually been set up, but it has, which is what we are wanting to do for everybody. There's another question on Xero. Let's see if we can answer that. I would have it. I actually have to come back to you on that, Mandy, because I won't be able to tell you on the top of my head. I'll get the guys to come back to you on that from Xero. The question is, have they changed the way statements are sent to somebody? Unfortunately, I don't know that on top of my head. We use Chaser to send statements to people. So, reminders of payments, which is an app that adds on to Xero, just because it looks more professional, in my opinion. So other question we have is, if I still have not received the furlough grant money, when should I expect it?
Well, they appear to be meeting their 6-day promise, so it should be within 6 days of whenever the furlough application has gone in. We'd be sending emails out to our clients to let them know when the claim is coming in, and where we're looking after the bookkeeping Xero as well. We're alerting clients when we're seeing it hitting the bank account. So yeah, I mean, within 6 days of application, working days of application does seem to be a target that HMRC are hitting at the moment.
Yeah, no, it seems so. And then the next question is a good follow-on question, actually. What should I do if I have not received it more than 2 weeks after applying?
Well, if we've made the claim on your behalf, you should alert us, and then we will go back to HMRC and follow up using the claim reference to find out what's happened to the claim. We're not aware of anybody not receiving the furlough money where a claim has been made so far. We have had a few which have incorrectly flagged as ineligible, which we are dealing with separately, but so far, once the claim's gone in, the money has been coming out. So that hasn't been an issue so far. HMRC have been calling to check on some claims, particularly the larger ones, so that could potentially delay it a little bit. But since they're making those claims fairly soon after those calls fairly soon after the claims are going in, that shouldn't be delaying it by more than a day or so. So yes, if you haven't received it within 2 weeks, something unexpected has gone wrong, contact us. We will go back to HMRC with the claim reference with all the details that we submitted to them, and we shall chase that on your behalf.
Just so you know, with that chasing, we have absolutely no idea how long that chasing will take or anything, just because obviously with the HMRC are in lockdown as well. But we will be looking at that for you on your behalf. Hopefully that won't be a query. Just so you know that I've got friends who are accountants and they've actually already been rung up by HMRC requesting, we'll just a quick check to see on some furlough that they're doing, that application that they correct, and just asking questions on the people that they're requesting. We haven't had anything as of yet. I'm not expecting anything. I even had somebody, it's my coach actually, they were called on Sunday just to check that everything was okay, which is quite interesting. We don't normally do work on Sunday, HMRC. So yeah, so they are looking at it, and they're not just letting everything going through. Yeah, from what we understand, they're probably going for the big claims. They're looking at big claims first, and they're just making sure they're spot checking them. This is one from Alex. If you were to furlough an employee, what guarantee are there in reality that the government will pay their 80% of the $2.5 grand max per month?
Well, as I say, so far where we submitted claims, the money has been coming through, provided the claims are made or in accordance with the guidance. So, for example, you're not claiming for an employee who has not had an RTI submission made, including them before 19th of March, then there shouldn't be any problems. And in fact, I suspect even when claims are being made in respect of employees like that, it is more likely that HMRC will come back later to claw back any additional furlough pay than not paying it out up front. Yeah, our experience so far is what, provided you are actually able to put the claim in the first place, the claims are pretty much being paid. So, I mean, it's not necessarily a 100% guarantee, but we have not seen any cases where it has not been paid yet.
Yeah, on that, I mean, the guidance is they're saying they're doing it. They are doing it. Unless you're fraudulently doing it, then there's no reason why you shouldn't, because they'll be reneging on their agreement to the whole population of the UK who's actually on payroll. So as long as you are on payroll as up to the 19th of March, which is really just for you guys, in Alex is actually the payroll for up to February, then you'll be absolutely fine. And I know that you're not furloughing yet, Alex. There could be potential in the future. That's why you're probably asking that question. When will you be processing the next furlough grant application?
We're looking at doing this around the 20th of May. It sort of lines up with when the first round of applications went in. You have to have a minimum of a 3-week gap, but since mostly clients we're dealing with are monthly paid, doing a monthly claim on their behalf makes the most sense. Once we get towards the end of the scheme and people are coming off furloughing, then we'll be doing separate claims based on when individual clients are finishing and indeed when the scheme as a whole finishes. At the moment, it has been extended to 30th of June. It is possible it will be extended further than that, but it looks very much like the government is looking at the position and extending it a month at a time if they think the lockdown is expected to extend into that month. So, yeah, we're looking at doing it around the 20th of May for the next one, and around the 20th of the months after that, until such time as people either are able to get back to work or the scheme comes to an end.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I mean, that's that. We will be doing them obviously until it's ended, but we will also be getting you just to sign off that you're happy with our claim. And also if you have any changes, if you are furloughing, just do let us know as soon as the furloughing stopped, just so we make sure there's no incorrect claims and we know that we need to start stopping it. But we won't be processing anything until we have a confirmation that you are happy with that, because otherwise we could be doing something that's actually not correct. And we don't want to do that. Okay. I don't think there's any, I have got nothing else, no other questions. There's very little that happened. So I think, unless you have anything, Steve, or if there's any more questions coming through.
No, I can't see anything else coming through this end. So the sort of next big thing is the bounce back loan. That's supposed to go live on Monday. There is the blog post on the initial announcement on that already, which summarises what you can get and what the criteria for applying are. And as soon as we hear more information on that, we shall be making it available.
Well, just one last thing is that if you're self-employed, as in you're doing just a self-assessment, sole trader, you should get money coming in directly to you in June. And that's, we've spoken about that before, but that's sort of the point line with HMRC. They were concentrating on employees first. So yeah. There you go.
Actually, on that front, the self-employed grants, they're still scheduled for June. It is possible HMRC will be contacting self-employed people before that, but they have said the earliest they will be doing that is mid to late May. So any of our self-employed clients that get a contact from HMRC before then, it is almost certainly a scam. In fact, I did write a blog post on some coronavirus scams that have arisen, because there are always people that will wish to take advantage of bad situations like this rather than being decent people. So yeah, if you get anything before mid-May from HMRC talking about the self-employment grant, it's likely to be a scam. If in doubt, forward it on to us, and we will confirm whether it's a legitimate contact or not.
Yeah, there's a lot of scams going on. I've mentioned this right at the start, because everyone's working from home and all on their PCs at home. So just be wary. There's lots of scams from all over the world. Okay. Well, thank you very much. We will be doing another one next week. I am thinking of changing it slightly. And I will send out details on that. What I'm thinking of doing is having it like a meeting where we just do this at the start and then we do a little bit of coffee and breakout so people can actually talk about how their business is going. Because what I'm hearing from people and clients is that they're not talking to people. So so if we can sort of put some questions out there, then we all come back and discuss. It's just a coffee and catch up. It may not be long at all. It may not work. But it's just a way of potentially just getting people to talk to other business owners or people working in businesses, just in other businesses, see how they are coping throughout this very strange situation that we've got in the world at the moment. Okay, well, have a good day and take care. And I hope to see you next week. And I'll let you know about the coffee and catch up if that is what we're going to do. All right, thank you. Take care. Bye now.